Hello, welcome to Charot Room, and this is FaelnarTe with my only one anak,
Justine.
and we're joined by. Actually, I think we're getting gentrified today because we're joined by
I am Jen.
Hey.
Jen Winslow, who actually is Miss J, and it's actually one of the persons, like with alongside with me, started the MissJharlee Talks YouTube channel. So hi,
Indeed.
hi,
Hey.
Jen.
Welcome. Welcome to her channel.
Welcome to your own channel. Welcome to your own channel. How does it feel like to try to regain your channel back from the Asian girl?
Oh my gosh, I've been away for so long. You all have redecorated. It looks nice. I appreciate what's been done with it, though.
Do you really?
I do.
All right, so like, what is it like hanging out with like us Asians? Like, cause like right now I know Justine, right? Don't you think like we're gonna be nosebleeding at this point?
I think that's what I'm scared of today, since we have the real American speaking, English speaking person, Miss Jen. So we'll definitely have to step it up.
Do you wanna care to explain what nosebleed is, Justine?
Nosebleed. It's not literally your nose is bleeding. It's internal hardness to speak English. I don't know.
Which I get, because you're thinking, translating, and bringing out English all at once. Yes?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's an expression. Thank you, Miss Jen.
I get it.
So since you get that part, is there anything sometimes that we say that you're like just like what?
The only thing really, like when I'm hanging out with all of you, is when you slip into Tagalog. I'm lost for the most part. Some things I can actually figure out now, because we've been friends for a while, so some of it I can kind of follow, but some of it you'll see me glaze out when I have no idea what you're saying.
So it's like there a difference though, hanging out with like, cause like if y'all don't know, Jen pays for my apartment. No, I'm kidding. We're roommates. We're roommates.
Wow.
So we share a 2-bedroom apartment for the most part. Well, I keep her in her room locked up. Like
So you're just being separated by a wall right now.
well, kind of.
No, I don't know. I think there definitely are differences, but there are also differences between different of my white friends too. So I have a friend, Erica, who is, we always talk about movies and her being an editor and all of that. But I think there's much more pageant talk on your side of the conversations. Not that that's all that we talk about, but it never comes up in among my white friends. I don't know if they don't just ever watch it, or they watch it but just not a conversation piece for them.
Do you remember ever talking to Jen about pageants, Justine? Or
no, I think. I understand what she said. Like every one of us would just, I guess the pageant is, like the foundation of every conversation for Filipinos. Mainly, I guess. I guess it's more lighter conversation to start with. I don't know.
That's actually good. I think with you. And with all of my Asian friends, I think the conversation starts off a little lighter and a little more fun, and then we progress to things that are a little more serious. And on the other side of things, it tends to go the other direction, where things start very intense and heavy, And by the time we're done, we're laughing and talking about absolutely nothing.
Wait, are you talking about me and whatchamacallit though? Like Asian friends versus like your non-Asian friends?
Correct.
So like
Yeah, so that's
for us it's different. Like for Asians it's different. Like it goes from light to heavy, and then on the other that just sounds so wrong to say. And then on the other spectrum, if you're not with your Asian friends, then it's from heavy to light.
right.
Why do you think that is?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if we're afraid of small talk to start things off with. So or we get together and there's just something we seriously just want to talk about, and maybe that's the reason for the gathering. I will say that even between my white friends and my black friends, the black conversations with my black friends are actually very, very heavy. We get into like very deep conversations, and then again we loosen up as we go along. But we kind of hit serious topics up front.
Justine, do you agree with that one? Do you know? I know your significant other or others. I'm not sure how the relationship that you have is. Are you dating somebody who's white? Am I correct, Justine?
Yeah. Yeah. Should I disclose it? Yes. I think also because to add what Miss Jen said, I guess we're also, I mean, personally, like for me, probably we're also afraid to talk about, like the deeper conversation to our friends, and just rather keep it light. But yeah, with Brian, he's
You just
Italian
said
and
his.
American.
It's so funny. I'm like, am I gonna disclose? And you just said his name.
I know, right? I'm so honest.
Let's
He's
call
actually
him.
be watching right now our episodes. Anyways, so yeah, right now, currently with what's going on right now, like he how do you even like half? I mean, 75% of the day we'll be talking about the protest, the march, the virus, very very current, very mainstream news. And yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is different to with my Asian conversation friends. So yeah, I mean, I can see the difference too.
Oh, so you also can. So would you think it's beneficial to hang out with people of different backgrounds? I'm not even saying skin colors and stuff, just backgrounds, like where they live, like different countries and all of that. Anyone can answer that question.
Yeah, I think that's what the beauty of Los Angeles, California, is like everyone comes from different background with like gender, sizes, color, and you can't be too close-minded not to choose who you want to talk to. Now, with work too, like your workmate is on a different background, and then different talks, different perspective of where they're coming from. But yeah, I do love to talk to different background. I mean, people of different
Different
background.
backgrounds, yeah.
Them nose bleeding if I see Miss Jen.
I know, but you know what? What Miss Jen doesn't know, after this conversation, I'm gonna choose a winner
Winner,
for the
huh?
pageant, for the first ever Charot room pageant. No, I'm kidding.
That's nice. So yeah, yeah, different background, different conversation, which is interesting. I don't really find it boring. It's just like how you can be on the same page. Since if I don't talk English that much. I mean, I know I'm a conversationalist English. I'm gonna say person. So yeah, back me up, please.
I love you. Just It's so funny. Well,
Oh my
anyway,
god.
like let me ask Jen. So like you're basically hanging out with Filipino trans women. What is something that you've noticed other than conversations? What else is different? Like, do you think there's anything different on the way that we tackle issues, blah blah blah, this and that? You can be 100% honest because actually you
Yeah.
pay most of the rent, and I can't really kick you out.
The way I see it is like honestly, when I think when I'm in conversations with you all, it's kind of even. Some it seems like you're very, like you've done a lot of research, which is why you want to talk about something. So it's actually a very knowledgeable conversation, and that's mixed with maybe someone within the group conversation that doesn't really know everything within the topic that we're doing, and so they're actually soaking in and learning what we're talking about. I mean, Kim, for example, Kim has completely been like that, where we've had conversations and she was like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Are you calling out one of Justine's sisters?
I am, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to back that up with something that I think is so endearing, because she was at our apartment and she thought that all white people voted for Trump.
Did she really?
She had made that comment, and I was like, oh, no. But it was a comment that she had made, and there was nothing about it. It was just like in her eyes, the white people. Well, the white people all voted for Trump. And I was like, no, we didn't all vote for Trump.
Wait, I wish Kim was here to back that up.
I know. And I wish that she was too, because it was a great conversation. We were sitting actually at the bar. Was that back around Christmas?
Wait, where? Here?
It was here. We were in the apartment. Because also part of that conversation was me and the mango terminology.
You know what though, Justine? Okay, so do you know what Miss Jen thinks what a mango is? Explain what a mango is, Jen, to Justine.
I will say it's not what I think it is, but when I was growing up, Muncie, Indiana, mango was actually the term for green bell peppers. And there's a history to it, because I was concerned, because this is my own, I don't know, white ignorance, because until I moved out to California, to me, a mango was a green pepper. I knew that they were called green peppers, but I just knew that mango was the term that we used in Indiana. So it actually does go back to a process of pickling that was called mangoing the peppers, and that's how they got their name. But like our produce department's called them mangoes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So it was like my complete upbringing was mango.
And then and that's like, you know what, when she said that, I felt so, what do you call that? It's blasphemous for me, because like, I literally, like, isn't it correct? Am I wrong to say that mangoes is one of like the most famous fruits in the Philippines?
Yeah, I mean that's right. I mean, if you say mango, I was like, yeah, mango. We love mango.
So how do you feel that she thinks it's a bell pepper?
I think it comes from a history of mangoing, so I guess that's understandable. But I'll be laughing if I heard that from Miss Jen. I'm like, wow.
Well, rest assured, you'll never hear that coming from me ever again.
But I guess she knows what mango is now, so it's good.
Okay, so like, what's one thing that, Justine, you've learned from hanging out from maybe like Jen? I know we haven't hang out like a lot together, but like, is there anything that you've learned from hanging out from Jen or like any of your white friends that are happen to be trans?
Wow. Yeah, I guess it's you know, like different people, different approach. I always say that. You know, it's what I've learned. You know, it's nice to see where where they're, you know, talk about their personal life and then what they do. And you know, Miss Jen's great. We didn't really talk that much because right now we're stuck at home. So I'm actually glad that, you know, I was able to talk to Miss Jen here in her YouTube channel. So good to know about mango and bell peppers. So you know, it's something, always something interesting and something that always fresh. what what most interests me is, you know, with Miss Jen, question to Miss Jen is how does, you know, Miss Jen see her friends, I mean the difference of Asian and white when it comes to going out, you know, in a restaurant. What do they order? Do they eat a lot, or do they share foods? Sorry, I'm like very curious.
No, this is totally cool. Um, among my white friends, there's really only one that when we sit down, we share food. Um, and that's actually Erica again. And so if we go and depending on what we're eating, obviously, but like if we go and we have Indian, then, you know, we just order and we're scooping out of, you know, the 3 or 4 dishes that we have come out. I have other white friends that the only thing they want to eat is fast food. You know, and that's it. There really isn't any. There's not much beyond the just. Oh, no, we're having fast food today, and there's nothing wrong with that, so to speak. I mean, that's what I was used to growing up with, because my mom and dad did not veer outside of this very thin line of what we ate if we weren't eating at home. But when I get together with, you know, any of the you as just friends or Filipino group as a whole, like I really had to learn what family style meant, like that. And even now, I think there are times that I'll show up to a restaurant with everyone, and in my mind, I'm ordering something for me. And then all of a sudden, you know, and everyone else is ordering, and then it all comes out like, all right, we're doing family style. I'm like, oh, like I completely just ordered this for me. Here, everyone have this too. So it's that was a learning curve, and I'm honestly, there's still times I'm caught off guard.
So do you think Filipinos are more prone to COVID then, since we
well
share our food?
No, because like, especially for you, you're way more cautious, I think, than some other people that I know.
I'm a hypochondriac though, so I need to make sure like I'm not gonna get myself sick, or like attempt to have, because otherwise I'm gonna mentally freak out, and it's just like it's something that I just don't want to mentally freak out on. Like that's a cute question though, Justine. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
I was going to say the other one. I mean, going to the, like, are you more prone to COVID? No, because your soups are so hot that I think that it kills everything.
That makes sense.
Do you have, so Justine, is Jen only one of the only trans people that you've hung out with that's white?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes Jen feel not special. No.
Yeah. She's the only one. Miss Jen's the only one.
So, do you think you've learned anything from Jen at all? I know I asked this question, but like, would you, like, when or nothing, because like you just don't mind her, because like I know, and sorry people if you're gonna get mad that I say this, but like I always kid, like since Jen is quiet, I always just kid her and say like cellophane, cellophane, my name.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Mrs. Jen is the only one, you know, if you say white, trans, and she's great. The problem is that, you know, whenever I see Miss Jen, everyone's around, you know. I would say hi to Miss Jen, talk a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'll be talking to some other people, and then, you know, I'll say, "Bye, Miss Jen. Nice to see you." That's what always happens, because there's always a big group whenever I see Miss Jen.
So you have
I
her
would,
one-on-one right now. What's like a question? So you have her one-on-one. Would ask her an intriguing question that you were always curious of.
oh my God, it's very intriguing. Let me see. Are you ready, Miss Jen?
Make her sweat.
Ready.
This is for the title of Charot Room, Queen of the Day.
What's your type, Miss Jen?
What is my type?
I mean, when it comes to, you know, like dating,
She's a water type. She's
a water type.
Yeah, she's a water. She's like Squirtle.
Ooh.
I don't know what my type is. I will say that it is funny, the couple of people that I have been interested in, they have been Asian since moving out here. Gender wise, I'm bi, so you know, actually, I mean, gender doesn't even really matter. I like the person that's the go-to for me. But I think honestly, like, I mean, I grew up in a very white town, in a very white neighborhood. I married a white girl who, you know, I loved. I'm kind of done with white people. like
Sorry,
really,
white folks.
I look around and I was kind of like, I don't really find white people that attractive, and like I just don't.
That's so sad, because there's so many attractive white people. I mean, like, so many attractive people in general, but at the same
right.
So are you racist to white people? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes. But just before everything went into lockdown, I did have a date lined up, and it was a white guy
lined up. Wow.
in Pasadena.
Oh my
so
God.
I mean, it was just never happened.
Miss Jen goes around, like, she's the silent type. She's like a fart, a silent killer. Any last words before, like, we end this, like, all over conversation? Because first of all, I know my nose is bleeding from the inside where it counts. I know Justine's nose is bleeding.
Mine too.
And I know. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I guess this is a really light conversation, Miss Jen. Yeah, I mean, I do, like, it's very light. It's nice to have Miss Jen on her YouTube channel again, and very light conversation. Good to know about her. I wish we can have Miss Jen all the time now, since the other two is not here. But yeah, I guess like for me, like I don't really discriminate people if they come up to me and then you have conversation, as long as they don't, their intention is good, and like there's difference with Asian and white people when it comes to hanging out, talking, and any conversation is always interesting. Yeah.
Jen, do you have
Uh,
anything to say before we wrap this nonsensical conversation up?
Actually, I really have enjoyed this. I like the fact that there were like several topics thrown in here that we were just kind of jumping around with. And on the flip side, things that maybe you learned to appreciate from on Hollywood things from me, I have from you as well, because my Netflix feed will pop up, and there are all of these shows that pop up because of things you've watched that are normally like they're very varied from things that I would normally just pop into Netflix, and then you get a recommended list. And so I watch those too. And so I've actually learned a broader sense of cinema outside of
Outside
of the
what, like
States.
my anime?
Oh no, because I always watched anime, but I don't know, like when some of it comes from oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget the name of it. Something Kitchen. That
I forgot about that too.
So like things like that pop up, and then that then recommends an entire string of other shows in that similar vein. Like All the Boys I've Loved Before. Like so, it introduces a wide variety of other shows, and you all introduced me to rom-coms.
Oh yeah, because that's the thing that I guess so I guess that's the thing that I got from watching Philippine cinema is the rom-com. Like Justine was talking about that, and then also from K-drama, watching like K-drama that's like super duper rom-com, and at the same time also wanting there's still like this affinity of like wanting to be that leading lady and blah 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 this and that. So I mean, that's why it's nice to have an open mind when it comes to friendships. I think it's or just like people that you talk to, because you'll never know. Stereotypes are annoying because they're. I mean, you can have a stereotype just so that you can be careful, but also not opening your mind to the plethora of people around there is also bad. So listening, opening your ears, and opening your heart and mind, super duper important. Otherwise, you'd be stuck. Shut up.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Jen.
Bye.